Hi there, so Astrid from House of Daft. So today I decided to have an interview with magician, and today I have Nico here. Nico is a sorcerer from Sweden. He is doing loads of ceremonial magic. He's also doing necromancy, and he has a very good experience and very good relationship with spirits. So hi Nico, very happy to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
So one of the first thing I actually wanted to talk about or ask is that you wrote me you have a very good relationship with spirits, and you've been kind of seeing spirits since you've been small. And I was thinking that must have been weird, but I guess the adults around or the people around just didn't see them, and you did. So how you kind of processed it? Did you try to tell the people, convince the people, or you just tried to keep it for yourself, or how you dealt with it?
Well, it was actually quite strange because as a boy, my parents, they did believe me because they were Pentecostal Christians. They just thought I was being harassed by the devil. So pretty much they prayed for me, and pastors tried to do like exorcisms on my aura and my home. It never really worked, and the spirits never left. But I was, as a child, terrified of them because I was being taught they were evil demons wanting to harm me and drag me to hell. Then I got older and I realized they didn't really want anything bad. And now, instead of running from them, I began to talk to them, and I learned a lot of things, and then I began to study my magic. And now we're here today with great relationships.
I know what you mean. So, do you actually feel that the ones they've been trying to talk to you when you've been a kid was actually trying to harm you, or was it just you being scared of them, or you just don't know what to expect?
No one really tried to harm me. Some spirits were like what I usually call like small little nasty bastards, like just like the attention, and sometimes they can be frightening because they jump right in front of you, and as a child it's very scary. But the more like bigger ones, serious ones that I later on learned the name of, and got the sigils of, they never wanted to harm me. They just wanted to prepare me for the future.
Mm.
And they knew what was lying ahead because they see future.
Let's say, what was one of like experience I had with spirits was that it seems like certain places have more potent energy for them to manifest, that I would see more of them, and some places just naturally seems to have lighter energy, so I would see or feel less of them. They have the same experience, like some places are just more, have this manifesting energy stronger, there are just more spirits around them than other places.
Well, yeah. And I think that in my experience, it's because of those places have been used for certain purposes, magically, or in religions, sacrificial places. Stonehenge would be an example in the UK, I would say. In Sweden, the farm I grew up in were very near a Viking burial ground. So a lot of weird things coming up there. And I think the most, from my childhood, the most interesting spiritual experience I had was one night when I woke up in my room and my dog was shaking in fear and looking at me like a terror and shaking, and he had even pissed himself. And then I woke up and I saw at the other side of the room in my sofa sat a majestic, big, dark being, looked like a prince or a king.
Wow.
And he introduced himself. At first I was terrified, but then I wasn't really scared. I was just very, I don't want anything to do with you right now, but today he's my favorite spirit.
I guess, it's like a bit like a friends, like not all the friendships I have a great starts. That's very interesting. Then you actually, you mentioned when you wrote me about you that you actually went to Catholic school.
Not Catholic, a Pentecostal Christian.
Pentecostal, yeah, Pentecostal, but it's like Christian. Christian background.
Yeah, extremely Christian background.
I've met so many magicians who went like on, I would say, left-hand path-ish, direction, or like quite darker direction. Loads of them actually have a Christian background, Catholic or Christian, including Aleister Crowley, right? So I think wondering if actually something like that then actually kind of inspired people to then pursue a magical path. Do you think it had any effect on you in that sense? It kind of like pushed you more towards magic?
Yeah, I think many left-hand practitioners especially choose that path to be rebellious. So it's many is like a phase, but I think for others they want to take it more seriously and move like 2 steps ahead of this just being rebellion and fuck with Jesus. They actually learn something and they can do something with their life and they can do something with the magic and not just have it as an image. That's my experience of left-hand magicians I met in my life.
I've heard it actually quite a few people that they had the same experience, but for me it was, I think actually for me it was even, I would say maybe even stronger rebellion, because I'm coming from completely atheistic background. Like in Czech Republic, I'm from Prague, the God is not existing, like just nothing spiritual, nothing religion, it's just non-existing, it's just not part of everyday's life, it's just not there. No, that's like it's non-existing. When you basically have friends that are religious, then everybody, like you would have from your whole friends group, it would be maybe one girl that would be like Catholic, but apart that it's just like, and everybody would be like, she's the religious one, she's the religious one, just leave her alone and run away. So that was like the mindset I was brought up in, when was like literally nothing, like nothing. So but I was kind of like thinking, hey, that's just, somehow it didn't fit, somehow it didn't felt right. It's just like this can't be all of it, that can't be just it, that's to it. It just would be ridiculously boring and then just would be terrible. So I actually started to kind of look more deeply into things. But I guess in that sense, it was hard for me because there was this upbringing who was saying there is nothing. There is just science. The God doesn't, this is some sort of like superstitial, God knows what, and only people who are completely stupid believe in this type of things. And I would say in general, like the anti-Christian mood in Czech Republic is quite strong. So it's atheistic and quite strongly anti-religious. So I kind of kept this anti-religious bit, at least from the most part. But yeah, like fighting atheism, I guess, would be hard for me than if I would be actually brought up as a religious, let's say as a Christian, Pentecostal, Catholic. But so I can kind of, okay, so I can get the idea there is something out there, but it's not that exactly, might be something else. But I think Pentecostals are actually quite open to many different things. You wrote me that you had exorcism in school.
Well, but not like in the horror movies or Catholic way with holy water, because they don't believe in holy water, and the Pentecostal Christians actually believe the Pope to be a Satanist. At least the ones I grew up with. And they said inside the Pope's papal hat you can find 666. Well, no, it's funny.
Yeah.
So their exorcism is more like they try to be as many as possible, at least 2 or 3. And the victim has to be like willingly and say, I want to get help with my demons that are harming my life or myself if they are actually inside the person. They believe that. And then they start praying, and one will be the leader in the prayer, and the other will like chanting, speaking in tongues, and then they will cast out the demons in the name of Jesus. So that's pretty much what they do, and they try to be like very like powerful and loud, I would say.
How old were you when you had this exorcism class?
Well, the first one I was 8 years old.
Oh, they start early.
Yeah, it's early. Yeah. So we won't tread the wrong path. I'm sorry.
It's like 8-year-old kid.
Well, I was very good. I could actually even quote big parts of the Bible from nowhere. I mean, what I'm grateful about my Christian background is that when I studied like Kabbalistic scriptures or the Keys of Solomon and all those magical grimoires with Christianity or Judaism involved in it, it was very easy for me to see like the hidden lines between it because I know the Bible inside and out. So for that I'm grateful. But all the brainwashing and all the narrow-minded views, yeah, I think I could spare it.
I've actually started something that I kind of figure out myself too, that actually Bible can be quite useful. It's like certain parts of the Bible, like Psalms, let's say, that can be used in magic. And they actually, I like the ring of it. I like the sound of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, in Solomonic magic, in ceremonial magic, you do use a lot of psalms, and they use them they believe use it in Old Hebrew along with certain tones from the harp or a string or violin. It's supposed to like put you in a certain mind state where you can open up your astral visions and command the astral realm. So that's a part of the ceremonial magic.
So that's actually very interesting. Frankly, I had no idea that you can actually go an exorcism in a school. Kind of like thinking that's quite a shame I didn't go to Pentecostal school.
Well, I think my church actually, where I grew up in Sweden, actually have a collaboration with what do you call it? Kensington Temple in London. So I think that's similar to Christianity. Maybe you heard of it?
No. Maybe I should pay them a visit.
I've never been there. I don't think I will go there anyway.
So, as we talked about before, you're also working as a magician for hire. That's actually extremely interesting occupation. And I would like to ask you, like, when you started, actually, how this idea even came to your mind to do such a thing.
Well, at first I've been coming out as a magician in a Christian family.
Yeah.
It's even harder than coming out as homosexual, I think. Well, for my family, first my brother, he came out of the closet being homosexual. That shocked the entire family. And then I came out as a magician. That was even worse. Well,
I can imagine that, actually.
Well, anyway, first I had and most of my friends are actually atheists, and some of them are my atheists, but like open mind for it could be fun, and they asked me to do like something for them, love problems or money problems or do divination, tarot readings, and I never charged for it. But after a few months, they started to give me like gifts, like I'll buy you a drink in a bar if you can do a reading for me, like, and it kept on like that. And after a while, people thought, why don't you charge properly? Because actually you do put a lot of energy and work into what you're doing. And from there it went on, and then I met Miss astrologist, astro tarot readings in Sweden, Margareta, and she's quite big in Sweden, reading horoscopes, and she has her own magic shop downtown in Stockholm, and I started working for her. And she put me on her website, and then when I got my first proper client I didn't know. So that was it.
So actually, let's say when I was starting with tarot readings, I actually noticed that there are certain topics just kind of keep repeating themselves. So I guess if you have a request for a spell, that might be quite the same theme. I've noticed how many times I've received this, like, does he love me or does he love me not? So I guess you must have had a request for like love spells quite often. I would say, what would you say is the most popular one? I would say love spells, but tell me.
Love spells, yeah, I love spells, yeah, and you have two themes in love spells. Either one of them is my boyfriend cheated on me and left me, bring him back. That's the most common one. And I was like, I used to say,
Come on, if he cheated on you, you don't want him back.
But I just said, sure, I can do that, but he will probably cheat on you again and leave you again. Yeah, and after he comes back, you make him never cheat again.
Come on, find a nice guy.
No, usually I don't want to interfere as much with their desires. I can give them a hint like, how about we do magic to get you a new boyfriend that maybe you would want, and maybe what you like blondes or black hair, so you can focus exactly on what you want. Tall ones, should you work in an office, or should it be like a work at construction work? No, I want my boyfriend. I want my cheating boyfriend back. Okay, fine. Your funeral.
Oh.
We'll do that. But,
no, we find you a better one, prettier one, richer one.
Rich one, yeah. But
better equipped one.
and the second most common one could actually be men and women, actually equal request, and they were like eternal singles, and they wanted to have a lover. Of course, everyone wants. But and I said, well, do you have any preferences? No, just give me anyone. Okay, well, easy one.
That's not a good idea.
And then I did a spell, and this client called me. These clients called me back again and say, after 1 week, nothing has happened. Okay, why not? I don't know. It didn't work. Well, I know it works. Well, I've been sitting in my room for a week now, and nothing has come. Oh, wait, haven't you left your house? No. Well, they won't climb like Brother Grimm stories up your window, and you will have to go out. Well, and they did go out, and a few days later they called me and said they hooked up with someone. Oh, good for you. So that would be like the most cliche, difficult clients, but usually they're quite cooperative.
I find it that love spells or basically love-related things was the ones I've been, let's say, asked usually the most. And in most cases, well, it's hard to talk to those people because you can see that desperate. It's like they really, really love this person and they really, really hook up to this idea. It doesn't matter if this person is good for them or not. In most cases, they don't care. Just want to get this person, let's say, back for no matter what the price is. So yeah, and usually I just start to softly talk to them. And with love spells, I don't really do love spells. If I'm doing my work myself now, as you know, I have absolutely no need to do any, and currently. And what I would, let's say, what was my approach if I would do love spells was basically just send somebody who will be nice and who is suitable for me right now, and somebody who will be perfect for me, and then just kind of like let it be more open.
I agree on that. I usually say, why don't we do a love spell like on a client? Why don't we do a love spell on you to make you attractive to the qualities you want to have in your life? That's usually my first. Some of them agree on that, but most say, no, I want that guy to come back, my cheating boyfriend. So,
that's actually a brilliant idea what you said about doing the love spells on you, and it's not the first time I've heard that actually.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, actually, Rini was talking about it when we talked, like doing love spells on himself to be more attractive and to can attract love. So actually, I thought, yeah, it's like very interesting, very interesting concept. It's like, technically speaking, if you do love spells on you, so you are more attractive, naturally that will affect your work too, because you are more attractive. Therefore, you have more clients. Your boss is nicer at you because you are more handsome.
It's like putting on makeup or putting on nice clothes, or grooming. It's like you make yourself more attractive, and then with the magic, you even make your aura more attractive.
Oh. That makes so much sense, actually. Yeah, why to make somebody else try to force him to you if you can just glow and be happy and make your magical aura super attractive, so nobody is able to stand on their 2 feet when they see you. That's actually such a great idea.
Yeah, of course.
And so that was the next, I would say, popular request. I would say money spells.
Money spells, yeah, money. And well, money, I think, just as with love spells, I think people usually have the wrong approaches to money spells and money magic or money in general. We want like lots of money to come into my house right now. And I can do that. But I mean, let's say if you do a spell for your company and suddenly you will earn £1,000 more this week extra, possibly, yeah, but that £1,000 will disappear because you will spend it. So usually I advise to like bless the company and make it more attractive, make it attract more clients, make it attract more customers, less expenses, more income, right? So you get a better foundation for a long-term investment instead of just £1,000 right now.
Oh, doing love spell on a company, so the company is more attractive and people just love it.
It's the same principle. So I will do money magic with a company, but I would use like the same principles from love magic to attract, instead of just like give you like £1,000 or £10,000 right now. Why not make it more effective, like long-term run? Cut away all like maybe make it more attractive than your competition. Cut off people who want to harm the company. Attract good customers. Create good investors, sponsors. I think long-term run more effective than just right now.
That's something actually I know. I was talking about, and I remember Jason Miller is writing and talking about it in his book, that basically the magical effort has to be somehow back up with actual real life effort. So you can create those channels, because we've been talking about it privately at some point, that basically the magic is about law of probability, and with the magic you are basically making certain things more probable. So if you actually combine it with a real life effort to make those things even more probable, you're much more likely to get there without massive backfire or just cock-ups on your way, and you're going to get probably faster and smoother. So I definitely believe too in like combination of non-magical tools, a non-magical approach, a non-magical effort and magical effort. I think that's what you really get the best results.
Yes, of course. I mean, that was the same thing when I told this client that was just staying in her room all week and didn't understand why no lover came to her. And so of course, I mean,
you have to at least go. You have to at least go to a local pub, even if it's not something I would necessarily recommend as a place when you can meet the boyfriend of your dreams. But
or at least go out to the mailbox. At least.
Can you actually meet the love of your life when you're going to a mailbox?
Well, I don't know anyone who's done it, but I can see a possibility, of course. Maybe the mailman is attractive.
Yeah, there's something about the uniforms and stuff. Actually, might be quite interesting.
Well, and also sometimes I get clients who want me to curse other people, and usually again I would like advise other possibilities or even offer healing for those wounds. But some are really persistent, and I mean, if you're really persistent, then I would say fine, you have the energy to actually do this curse. If you're just like angry because your boyfriend broke up with you 2 hours ago, I wouldn't say you're really ready to do the curse yet. But if you still feel like really hurt and maybe you feel like abusing your emotions months afterwards, so, for example, yes, then maybe we can cut it off.
I think, yeah, I even had like few when somebody in mailbox asked me if I'm cursing or if I'm doing curses and stuff like that. Basically exactly what you said. I believe if there is possibility how to kind of sort it out in real life first, I would say that's better. Occasionally I've noticed that with curses really occasionally just the best thing if you really feel anger towards that person is to really go and just, I don't know, slap them or something like that. But I think with curses, I've never done curse for hire. I've done a few curses on my own for my private reasons, but I wouldn't say I've never done a curse to a person who I wouldn't believe that she really, really, really deserves that, and I wouldn't give a little warning in upfront. Just like, please stop doing this, just stop. So, but as I mentioned it in quite a few videos, that I believe in basically embracing both light and dark side. So healing completely, unselfish and open healing, and curse if necessary, and just kind of somehow try to embrace both of them. So
Yeah,
I know
okay.
you actually. So what is actually you're up to right now? Are you more like currently doing more ceremonial or necromancy? What is it like now in your head?
I do all of it. In my order, we practice 8 disciplines. We practice divination, we practice path working, astral projection, we practice invocation, so both angels, demons, all kinds of spirits. We practice alchemy, both inner and outer alchemy, in a laboratory, doing herbs, minerals, animal parts. We practice necromancy, sex magic, what else? Talismans, amulets, spells.
It's quite like a broad range of a sorcery. One of the things actually you've mentioned and I wanted to ask you about, recently I've been caught up in a few different discussions about invoking demon. What do you think about that? Yes or no?
It depends on what kind of person you are. I mean, sometimes it's dangerous, but low entities, like low developed entities, like maybe that's transcended from maybe human souls, or like having a rise high in a spiritual hierarchy. If they are considered dark, then maybe I wouldn't invoke them. And it's like inviting people in your house. Would you only invite British people? Would you invite foreign people into the house? I would almost see like that. I mean, what kind of people do you want in the house? What kind of people, different ideologies, religions? If you feel safe with someone, you invite them. If you really don't feel safe, but you feel you can take care of yourself, then maybe you can invite them. If you don't feel safe and if you can't take care of yourself, then don't invite people you don't feel safe with. That's my answer for that. And I invoke both angels and demons inside myself, and I haven't experienced anything negative yet.
So yeah, so I was seeing like discussion, and some people were definitely like, yeah, invoking demons. Some people like, nah, no, not really. I was like, kind of considering it. I haven't done it myself. I'm also only using demons in evocations, not invocations. And I kind of like this idea of them just staying in the triangle.
Yeah. But I mean, I say when you invoke something, usually I've seen 2 kinds of invocations. Either you invoke like some of the energies and forces inside of you, and in other invocations you actually pull them like completely inside of you, like a control possession for a certain amount of time. I would say if you don't want to be like demonic in a way, or if you don't want the demonic energies inside you, then don't do it. But if you feel like you want to like ascend to more like demonic being, then you have to invoke demons to actually get even close.
That makes perfect sense. I was kind of considering it, and I guess it got onto my occult to-do list in a near future, which is getting quite broad.
I remember my first list. When I read about the golem in Prague, I was like, oh, I have to make a golem. I was like 23 years old, and I was like, I really have to make a golem. And well, I haven't got to make a golem in Prague yet.
Well, I know where the golem is in Prague. If you
Yeah.
it's like actually, yeah. There's like this golem idea. Because I'm from Prague, as I mentioned. Then there was like 2 alchemist studios, a workshop that one basically. One was restored from original alchemy workshop from 15th century, and the other one is basically where John Dee and Kelly got his their own workshop. So I actually went to both of them, and I've noticed like there was like this kind of idea of homunculus creation, kind of a present in both of them on one way or another. And I was thinking that's actually a very interesting thing. I've never attempted creating a homunculus myself. I create spirits and I chain them to skulls and various other objects, mostly skulls. But like homunculus, I've never tried it. I didn't even actually know that much about it. How do you think about that?
Well, I never tried it myself either, so I can't really say.
It sounds like I like this idea. I was like,
Give it a try. I was like,
yeah.
You tell me how it goes. If it goes well, you will report. If it doesn't go well, I'll never see you again, I guess. No, sorry.
Hey, that's possible. Hey, that's possible. It's like, occult accidents happen. That's very much true. It's like, actually, I've been asked once if like you're not scared about those things, and I'm saying no. It's like my soul is eternal. The worst thing they can do to me is to kill me. If I'll die, I'll reincarnate in a few years, and I will be back doing my shit. So technically speaking, I'm not risking absolutely anything.
No, I was scared. I was terrified for spirits, or terrified of spirits, like I told you earlier. But when I learned how to deal with them, it wasn't scary anymore. You're only afraid of what you can't handle. I mean, as a child, being taught that these spirits will drag you to hell physically, like that movie Drag Me to Hell, was like, oh my god. But now, I mean, I want that. I know that won't happen, and if you can control yourself, control your own energy, you can even communicate with them, and it's not really dangerous. That being said, I wouldn't say spirits can't be dangerous, especially if you do invocations. So invocation is actually, for me, the only risky thing to do, because you're actually taking something inside of you and it can psychologically affect you in ways you wouldn't want it to do. That is possible.
Let's say it was one of my experiences. Let's say when I used the Ouija board for the first time, and because obviously I didn't follow the instructions because I rarely do. Instead of being in a circle of people, and I never follow instructions. Instead of being in a circle of people as I'm supposed to be, what I've done it completely on my own, just basically having the Ouija board, having planchette, and then blindfold myself. And basically, as I was doing the Ouija board, there was another person who was basically taking notes and asking questions. So basically, I went in a complete, fully fledged possession of some sort of something that I had no idea what it was. We were trying to call the spirit, but it was just like a random guy who went through, and then just like spelling things like name was like Stuart and Matilda, and it was just like those names just keep coming, and I couldn't see it because I was blindfolded, and the Ouija board was flipped upside down, so I constantly couldn't even think about what I'm actually which letters I'm pointing, and because as I said, Ouija board was upside down and I was blindfolded. But I literally went into fully fledged possession, and then basically like it took me good 3 hours to kind of like got back on track and exercise myself because I obviously couldn't do it. So I just had to completely exercise myself, and I had this like my eyes were completely like blank afterwards. I was like, this is not good. So I had to drink a coffee, went on a fresh air, go to the takeaway, listening to Indian mantras, like literally smoke cigarette, obviously, and then just like bring myself down. But it was fun. I'm going to do it soon again.
I mean, 3 hours. I mean, if you're heavily under an invocation or influence of a spirit, sure, it might actually leave you just in 5 minutes. But like I said, it still drops off energies inside of you, and mentally, psychologically, physically, it will affect you. And
it's just like some sort of like a weird sense of
I know.
not being present. It's like I'm here but partially not here, and I felt like drowsy and dizzy, and just it was all like behind some sort of like a dizziness wall and like glass wall, like me in reality. It's just feeling I usually have quite often, but this was like much stronger, and I was like, so I was like, I managed to get rid of it, I think, quite quickly, but then I was quite dizzy and like drowsy and like not present. So kind of ground myself for, like, I would say to the normal point. It actually took about 3 hours, but yeah, it might have taken, I guess, less time. But the thing is, I was so not prepared for it. I was like, yay, Ouija board, cool, let's do that without any preparations and reading any instructions. So, yeah,
3 hours still quite good. I mean, for me, it took 6 days to get rid of Lucifer and invocation.
I think for the fact that I was exercising myself in a possessed state completely on my own.
Oh, perfect. Very good.
Quite achievement. It's like partially you don't know what you're doing because you're drowsy and dizzy and like. It was fun. It was fun. It was a great experience.
Well then,
So
I'm glad you're enjoying yourself.
do you like Ouija boards actually?
Honestly, I never really tried them properly. I've done 2 experiments with them, and the first one was really creepy. I did it with my friend, and our apartment was really, really haunted, like stupidly haunted. And so we like, okay, we make our own Ouija board, like a paper, and we use a ring as a planchette, and we had no real occult practice except astral projection and meditation. So we opened it up, and I said, how do you do this? And I Googled how to do it as like a young 20-year-old boy. Like Google, and the first hit on Google must be true. No. So I'm like, okay, so you just say, I welcome all spirits out of it. But right, I did like the first prayer they told me to do, and then I was going to say, so now we welcome all the spirits, and I just got filled with this fear inside of me. The room dropped ice cold, and all the candles began to flicker. I was like, okay, Antonius, my friend, are you going to finish the invitation? Oh, welcome me to come here. And then we started, nothing really happened. I asked questions, nothing happened. But then the door to the bedroom opened, and something came walking in the hall. And we just, okay, screw this.
But you went into a place that was haunted already, right?
It was our home.
Ah, I see. But you've seen. Ah, okay.
It was our home.
And have you been doing it during the day or during the night?
Night. What could possibly go wrong at house? Well, when you're young, you do funny things, and I wouldn't.
But I haven't seen anybody actually who would be using Ouija board for longer time and wouldn't have some sort of like a very creepy experience with it, like something very, very creepy. My theory is that basically, I think the reason for it is because you are calling or opening your doors to somebody who possibly wants to talk to you, right? And there is like a whole range of people. So who is it you are going to hear first? It's possibly the one who screams the most. Who screams the most is the one who's possibly in the most pain, or just is connected to a stronger emotional and energetical charge that in case of death can be cause of violent death or unpleasant death or some negative emotions. Those can be much stronger, therefore you will hear the person more likely or stronger than somebody who just happily passed away without any emotional charge connected to the spirit. So yeah, so that's basically just my idea about it. Anyway, I think I was holding you. I'm not even sure for how long we are talking. I think it's more like an hour and a half or something.
Right.
I don't even know. So yeah, so thank you for talking to me, and thank you for doing this interview with me. It was sweet to talk to you. Hope you will do some interview soon, and I hope you will enjoy your evening. This video, if you're looking at it on YouTube, is going to be one of the series. So if you have any ideas or comments, something you'd like to share with us, please do so in the comment section below under this video on YouTube. And I'm going to share it all over the internet. So if you'd like to contact Nico, again, there will be a link in the comment section below if you'd be interested to know more about him. So thank you, Nico. And and hope you see all of you soon.